Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flush upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. This is a poem by the English poet William Wordsworth, written in 1804. Here he has described a beautiful depiction of the beautiful nature, the pleasure that nature gives to human beings. Now I am going to explain the poem stanza wise. I wander lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. That floats on high over vales and hills. Here I means the poet who was moving aimlessly, and he has compared himself to the clouds in the sky that moves over the earth, over the high hills and the valleys. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Suddenly the poet saw a group of beautiful daffodils. Here, crowd doesn't mean the group of people. Here, crowd refers to the group of daffodils. A host of golden daffodils. Here, host means that the daffodils were entertaining everyone. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The daffodils had stretched so much that they were beside the lake, under the trees, and they were moving, which seems to be dancing in the cool air. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Now he has compared the daffodils to the bright stars in the night sky that shine and keeps on twinkling on the Milky Way, the galaxy that we can't see with our normal eye, which contains our solar system. They stretch in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. There were so many daffodils that they spreaded in a never-ending way that can't be counted, and they have stretched along the margins of a bay, the inlet of the sea. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. There were so many daffodils that there were 10,000 that could be seen at one time, and they were tossing their heads in sprightly dance. They were so happy that they were moving their beautiful petals. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. The water the water waves were moving, the sunshine were falling on the water, but the daffodils outdid the sparkling waves in a happy mood. Means they were brighter than the waves. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. No one, and also a poet, cannot be sad in such a cheerful company. He must be always happy. Means the daffodils has brought so much of pleasure to the poet's mind. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what weal the show to me had brought. The poet kept staring at the daffodils, and he has thought that this show of the daffodils has brought so much pleasure to his mind that can't be compared to anything. Far off, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, when the poet lies alone, lonely, and keeps on thinking, they flush upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. Then, when he is lonely and thoughtful, the sight of the beautiful daffodils comes to his inward eye, that is, to his mind, which is the bliss of solitude, which is quite peaceful. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Then my heart, that means the poet's heart, fills with so much of happiness and pleasure that keeps on moving with the lovely sight of the beautiful daffodils. Thus, the poet has such beautifully described the pleasure that nature can give to us. Such pleasure can't be compared to any material wealth.